Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they die for. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a constant attitude. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual doom. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. True compassion is more than flinging a coin to a beggar. It comes to see that an edifice which produces beggars needs restructuring. Not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great, because greatness is determined by service. It's all right to tell a man to lift himself by his own bootstraps, but it is cruel just to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. The day we see the truth and cease to speak is the day we begin to die. Those who love peace must learn to organize as effectively as those who love war. It is cheerful to God when you rejoice or laugh from the bottom of your heart. It may be true that the law cannot make a man love me, but it can stop him from lynching me, and I think that's pretty important. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people, but the silence over that by the good people. If we do an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth, we will be a blind and toothless nation. One day we will learn that the heart can never be totally right when the head is totally wrong. We know through painful experience that freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. One's dignity may be assaulted, vandalized, cruelly mocked, but it can never be taken away unless it is surrendered. What affects one in a major way affects all in a minor way. We all too often have socialism for the rich and rugged free market capitalism for the poor. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. We are prone to judge success by the index of our salaries or the size of our automobiles rather than by the quality of our service and relationship to mankind. Courage faces fear and thereby masters it. Peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but a means by which we arrive at that goal. You are not only responsible for what you say, but also for what you do not say. The nation or civilization that continues to produce soft-minded men purchases its own spiritual death on the installment plan. When you are right, you cannot be too radical. When you are wrong, you cannot be too conservative. Everything that we see is a shadow cast by that which we do not see. He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps to perpetrate it. A man who does not have something for which he is willing to die is not fit to live. 10,000 fools proclaim themselves into obscurity, while one wise man forgets himself into immortality. The more I thought about human nature, the more I saw how our tragic inclination for sin mistakes causes us to use our minds to rationalize our action. It is just as wrong, or even perhaps more so, to use moral means to preserve immoral ends. The potential beauty of human life is constantly made ugly by man's ever-recurring song of retaliation. It may be true that the law cannot change the heart, but it can restrain the heartless. Even if I knew that tomorrow the world would go to pieces, I would still plant my apple tree. The Western arrogance of feeling that it has everything to teach others, and nothing to learn from them is not just. A man should do his job so well that the living, the dead, and the unborn could do it no better. I came to the conclusion that there is an existential moment in your life when you must decide to speak for yourself. Nobody else can speak for you. The soft-minded man always fears change. He feels security in the status quo, and he has an almost morbid fear of the new. For him, the greatest pain is the pain of a new idea. Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you're nobody. I've seen too much hate to want to hate myself.